I'm a charter broker. For me, chartering airplanes and being involved with airplanes and the business is what I love. We've gone from a small business from, when I joined 8 or 9 people to now a business of 400 and something people with over $1 billion of revenues. There's been a lot of ways, a lot of times and a lot of changes in the business and the way we do business. And when I first started, it was, a handshake and move on to the next deal. Obviously, today, things are very, very different. We've had to diversify our business because the business has changed. The requirements from our customers wasn't enough just to be, and it isn't enough today to just be a nice guy and to be a name in the industry. You have to have a lot more. You have to add a lot more than just being a middleman. So, we diversified our business, which was a real key for us in our development as a business. And today, as you can see here on the stand, we have Magma Aviation, Arcus, and Chapman and our onboard courier business, and there's more to come.
We are here in Munich at the Transport, Logistic and Air Cargo Europe, the world's largest and the biggest transport logistic exhibition and conference. And with me in conversation is a good friend, an industry veteran, Russi Batliwala, is the chairman of the board of Chapman Freeborn. Russi, great to have you with us for this conversation.
Always, Reji. Always a pleasure. You know that.
Let's begin. It's been 50 years of Chapman Freeborn. How did you celebrate the 50 years?
Well, it's a very good question because when coming to Munich, I was prepared for the usual show. It was a big coincidence, but yesterday was actually our 50th anniversary. And I didn't really realize what it meant until I got here. And people coming to the stand all day, congratulating us with special presents. We had the most special present, I have to say, was a very good friend of mine and an airline partner of ours who on Times Square put a poster up, an advertisement every hour of yesterday showing our Chapman Freeborn logo and 50-year celebration, which was amazing. And I have to be honest, I've been doing this for a long time. I was really quite overwhelmed yesterday. It took me a bit by surprise at the friendship, at the partnership, and at all the well wishes. It really did take me by surprise. I wasn't prepared. Obviously, I'm thrilled. It's a great achievement for any business, and I'm very proud to be in the chairman's role and to take on a lot of the congratulations together with my colleague Eric and the rest of the team.
You've been part of Chapman Freeborn for more than 36 years, if I'm not wrong. And if I were to ask you, if you were to pick up some of the biggest highlights of your life in Chapman Freeborn and Chapman Freeborn in 50 years, what would they be?
There's lots of them, to be honest. I'm a charter broker. For me, chartering airplanes and being involved with airplanes and the business is what I love. We've gone from a small business from, when I joined 8 or 9 people to now a business of 400 and something people with over $1 billion of revenues. There's been a lot of ways, a lot of times and a lot of changes in the business and the way we do business. And when I first started, it was, a handshake and move on to the next deal. Obviously, today, things are very, very different. We've had to diversify our business because the business has changed. The requirements from our customers wasn't enough just to be, and it isn't enough today to just be a nice guy and to be a name in the industry. You have to have a lot more. You have to add a lot more than just being a middleman. So, we diversified our business, which was a real key for us in our development as a business. And today, as you can see here on the stand, we have Magma Aviation, Arcus, and Chapman and our onboard courier business, and there's more to come. We sold the business to Avia Solutions in 2019 for a particular reason, and we are now managing more and more own assets. Avia Solutions will operate 200 aircraft this year in Europe, which is gigantic, and we are so happy and so proud to be a really important part of that group.
Since last 3 years, you moved up as the chairman of the board. Do you miss your charter broker days?
No, I do have certain customers that I still work with, but to be honest with you, I love what I do now because I decide what I do. I decide what I get involved with. I work very closely with Eric, our CEO, who asks me and I mentor and help where I can, as well as the rest of the board. But I have a lot of freedom now. And so this freedom allows me to be more creative. Creativity is, for me, the start and end of everything. And so I can come up with ideas and look at new businesses and mergers and acquisitions and look at further developing the business. I have complete freedom to do whatever I want. So that makes it fun, more fun than ever before.
How do you see the evolution of the last 3 years since the acquisition by Avia Solutions? How do you see the company growing?
The most important thing that's changed is that when we're back in 2000, prior to 2019, my vision was always about yesterday and today. And today, with our new shelter, the vision is very much future focused. So we have a fixed roadmap for 2030. that is communicated throughout the group. We know what we want to achieve. We know how we're going to achieve it. That is the biggest, probably the biggest game changer, that we all have a goal and we're all heading in one direction. And I think that's what the business needed. I think I made the right decision at the right time to take a step back, let others come in and bring the business forward.
Diversification has been a critical component of the growth of Chapman Freeborn for the last few years. And since the acquisition of the company by Avia Solutions, and as chairman of the board, you have that right now, the freedom and the time and the creativity to look at new businesses, also do acquisitions of the business. What are some of the areas that you're looking at? You have Intradco, which has really grown up, onboard courier service. What are some of the other businesses that you're looking at acquiring, any new companies?
For us, it's all about niche. We don't want to be a freight forwarder because our freight forwarders are our customers. We want to be a niche player and we want to concentrate on niche businesses. We're looking at acquisitions in the Intradco field, in the onboard courier field. Arcos Air is our European aircraft operation for the automobile industry. We're looking to expand on areas where we're already in. Our onboard courier business, very important. We're looking to further grow that and invest in that. And that's also something very important that Avia Solutions Group brings with us, the potential to go in and invest. The chairman is very much focused on us as a business and very, very supportive of us as a business, as a part of the wider group. And basically we have carte blanche to go and grow our business, which is great. And for someone who's spent all these years building a business, now to have a lot of tools and not have the baggage of running the business on a day-to-day, I couldn't be happier.
Are there any specific, Chapman Freeborn is about niche. Are there any specific niche that you really want to enter into and that thinking about? I think you have some business in the pharmaceutical, e-commerce. Are there any specific vertical that you are looking at and probably that you want to make a name for Chapman Freeborn?
Honestly, our clients, the customers, and particularly the multinational, they are already in those verticals. And we are focused on being a provider of the end solution, of the charter solution, of a capacity solution for whichever product or whichever vertical the client comes to us with. Yes, we are investing in certain verticals to see, for example, in the automotive vertical, because we are players in the automotive vertical here in Europe with Arcos Air, and we do fly for a lot of our customers, and we need to have that focus. So we're investing in the automotive vertical and potentially in others in the government and humanitarian areas, which has always been traditionally a very large part of our business and that we're also very proud of. But apart from that, we are happy in our role where we are, serving our customers, being the go-to organization to provide capacity.
Russi, let's bring our conversation down to the ground, to the reality of the air freight market, the global economy. There are a lot of headwinds which are not really working in favor, but we do see lots of interesting things that happens also within the global freight industry. What is your reflection of the current global freight industry in terms of overcapacity, demand on the decline, pressure on yield? Any specific comments on the current global freight industry?
There's two parts to this, Reji. First of all, you have to differentiate air freight from air charter. So the air freight business, the commodities fly. Sometimes the volumes are up, sometimes the volumes are down, but generally it continues. Look at Qatar Airways ordering, huge fleets. There's going to be more and more capacity coming in and more commodities that are flying on a regular basis. So, the volatility in the air freight is not as big as it is in the air charter business. So the air charter business lives from volatility. We need a natural disaster to fly a lot, or we need some strikes, or we need a pandemic. So that volatility is just gigantic within the air charter business. And that's why, you need to diversify. But going back to the general air cargo, the charter business, people are complaining a lot that, the market is down. But if you actually look at it, the commodities are still flying and the legacy carriers are, they are still flying. Controlled capacity, which is what Magma offers to some of our multinational companies, they are continuing and they will continue. Controlled capacity is here to stay. So a multinational forwarder buys a route sector or a rotation to somewhere. And during the pandemic, it was giving to their customers that they control their capacity. That will continue now, even though the market is down. And I'm seeing that there is no change in our control capacity, what we offer to our forwarders. Yes, we have to make rate corrections and we have to renegotiate. But the fact is the volumes are actually there. When people talk about the market being down, it's very much in regard to the charter market or the extra, let's call it the extra. The regular business is, in my opinion, from what I can see, and certainly from when I see the payloads of some of our flights going on the transatlantic, the flights are full. The cargo is there, maybe not at the levels that it was, or certainly not at the yield levels that it was during the pandemic, but we are where we are. But the volatility is in the charter side.
But are the challenges, the charter rates, is that something that's a concern for you?
Not really, because we're not affected by that so much. If someone wants to charter an airplane, they are chartering a full aircraft. There's a cost to that, and it doesn't change. I mean, the fuel prices go up, the fuel price goes down. There's no real volatility in the pricing. The price of the plane is going to be the price of the plane. The question is whether the customer will be able to afford a charter. If the capacity on the main scheduled carriers is there, he or she's not going to take a charter. So it really depends how you say. If there is a need, outsized cargo or whatever, then people will pay whatever it costs to charter an airplane.
For a charter broker, what is the biggest challenge right now?
It's about adding value. And it's about getting, Reggie, it's not enough to have a relationship and be a nice guy anymore. And that's how the charter business started. The nicest guy in the business used to be Chris Chapman. Unfortunately, he's not here with us to celebrate 50th, but he was a fantastic guy. And he was one of the reasons I got into the industry. But it's not enough anymore just to be a nice guy. And I think the biggest challenge is about adding value and how you add value and what do you actually do? What role do you play? Particularly as a charter broker, you're a third pair of wheels on the car. And you've got to make sure that those third pair of wheels are actually producing something and that you're really adding value, because everybody is under pressure. Everybody wants to maximize their profitability. And the charter broker, unless he's really adding value, hasn't got a chance.
What is the customer asking you in terms of added value?
They're asking us for solutions, and they're asking us for solutions that they can't come up with themselves. And they're asking us for solutions beyond just the third-party charter. They want our own capacity, they want onboard couriers, they want specialization with animal transportation, and so on. It's become more and more niche in what they want. They can go to the legacy carriers for a charter or for a part charter. They're coming for us to think out of the box. That's what we do today.
Russi, it's always a pleasure talking to you.
Thank you.
Great to have you.
Thank you, Reggie. Always happy to be part of this, and look forward to seeing you soon.